Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Five Mastery Podcast, where our focus is on providing tools, resources, and insights that empower driven individuals to secure their own path to financial independence. My name is Peter Donisanu, and today we're going to talk about the power of mental rehearsal. Now, the first thing you're likely to ask yourself is, what does mental rehearsal have anything to do with achieving and maintaining financial independence? Well, the truth is that visualizing how you want to use your money to transform your life can help you set more meaningful financial goals, develop tangible practices for achieving these ends, and can help you overcome subconscious limiting beliefs about money that are holding you back from your ideal lifestyle. Indeed, just like in sports, the battlefield for your finances is in your mind, and the victory starts there. So with that, let's dive into today's podcast. When was the last time you mentally rehearsed how you're going to make your financial goals a reality? Well, whether you're a skeptic or a diehard proponent of mental rehearsal, you could take a lesson from Craig, who used this approach to fast-track his financial progress towards his essential life goals. Now, Craig had a decent job as a middle manager in a tech company and was making good money, but not the kind of money where he could call himself rich. Even so, Craig had big dreams, and his goal was to hit a net worth of $10 million by the age of 50. It sounds like a tall order, right? Well, this was especially the case given that he was already halfway through his 30s and only had a fraction of that amount saved. That's when Craig realized that he needed a financial game changer, something totally different from what he was currently doing to reach his lofty goal. Now, sometimes the craziest ideas come from the most unlikeliest places. And in Craig's case, a friend told him about a book he was reading, and it was all about the power of mental rehearsal. More specifically, it described how one's mind often can't tell the difference between the mental world and the physical world, and so developing a practice of mental rehearsal could help him better realize his dreams. Now, it's essential to note here that this approach wasn't some sort of pie-in-the-sky wishful thinking. In fact, the book discussed 3 concrete steps that Craig needed to focus on to realize his dreams, and these included clarifying his goals, developing a mental rehearsal routine, and overcoming limiting beliefs. Now, sounds too good to be true, right? Well, Craig thought so at first, but he ultimately decided to give it a shot. And so, how did he do it? Well, he started with the basics and got clear about what he wanted, and that was a $10 million net worth by the age of 50. Then he wrote down his goals, big and bold, and stuck it to his kitchen wall. Now, you might wonder, does this approach really help? But think about it this way. Seeing that number on a daily basis reminded Craig of his dream and kept him motivated regardless of what was going on that day. Next, Craig got real about his expectations. He knew that just seeing a number wouldn't cut it. And that's because he had to make his dream feel as real as possible. So what did he do? Well, Craig made a list of what his $10 million goal would look like to him. And for Craig, this meant a house in Hawaii, being able to travel the world, and funding scholarships for underprivileged children. And so to make his list more real, Craig attached pictures representing his goals to each one of these items. Now, stay with me here because this is more than simple daydreaming. That's because the pictures of his goals made the outcomes real and tangible to Craig, so he knew exactly what his financial decisions would help him accomplish. Finally, Craig got serious about his mental visualization practice, and that's where the magic started to happen. That's because Craig started visualizing his desired outcome every single day. Now, can you imagine how powerful it would be to be so focused on what you want from your life that you don't lose focus of it regardless of what's going on in your life? Well, by doing so, Craig could almost taste the life he was dreaming of, and it drove him to push even harder towards his financial goals. And so what happened? Well, as he spent more time mentally rehearsing the life he wanted, Craig noticed he was more willing to take greater risks. He asked for the promotion he'd been eyeing. He got serious about his disciplined investment strategy, and he even began exploring side hustles to diversify his income. And wouldn't you know it, his net worth started to climb faster than he ever thought was possible. And here's the kicker. Just after his 48th birthday, Craig hit his goal a full 2 years earlier than planned. And at that point, he was standing in his beachfront home, traveling the world, and giving scholarships to needy children. But the best part, it wasn't just about the money. Craig found that the real magic was in the journey and the incredible power of mental rehearsal that got him there. Now, while Craig's story may sound too good to be true, The fact is that our mindset and how we view our life goals has a lot of sway on whether or not we'll achieve our desired life outcomes. And at this point, it's crucial to note here that the kind of visualization we're talking about is not necessarily one associated with the law of attraction or the name it and claim it prosperity gospel. To be sure, while the jury is out on whether thinking good thoughts about what we want from life will actually manifest them, what we're talking about here is the proven method of priming our brains for desired life outcomes so that we can better do the work rather than simply wishing our desires into existence. Indeed, by looking at mental rehearsal from the perspective of sports, psychologist Aidan Moran has been known to say that sports are played with the body and won with the mind. And so what does this mean? Well, the saying suggests that winning in sports goes beyond mere physical dominance. That's because athletes who can harness the power of their minds by channeling their mental strength, visualizing success, setting goals, and employing effective strategies are more likely to achieve ultimate victory. And so what does sports have to do with money? Well, the truth is that top performing athletes often acknowledge that their opponent isn't the person staring at them from the other side of the court, but rather it's the other person staring at them from the other side of the mirror. That's why when it comes to mental rehearsal and performance training, Jim Afremow, the author of The Champion's Mind, has some valuable insights for upping your game when it comes to mastering your journey to financial independence. So to start, you need to consider the fact that mental rehearsal plays a vital role in goal setting. And why is that? Well, that's because visualization helps you take obscure or ethereal desires and turn them into something you can touch, taste, and smell. For example, have you ever visualized yourself living in a new home while touring various houses with your real estate agent? Or how about imagining your child's experience at a new school during an open house? Now, could you recall how you felt in these very moments? Well, if you can, then you've likely already experienced the power of visualization when it comes to setting financial goals. To be sure, to make this practice successful for you, Afremow suggests frequently visualizing yourself accomplishing your desired outcomes, whether it's winning a competition, attaining personal financial milestones, or achieving financial freedom through your savings goals. Indeed, by consistently envisioning your success, you enhance your focus, your motivation, and belief in your ability to achieve those outcomes. To be sure, when engaging in vivid mental imagery or visualization, the brain can activate similar neural networks and pathways as it does during actual real-life experiences. And this activation can lead to physiological and psychological responses similar to those experienced in real-life situations. What's more, visualizing yourself in your desired financial state will not only help you set your goals, it can also help boost your motivation and focus your energy towards achieving those desired life ends. And these outcomes typically happen because you're using the power of your imagination to generate positive emotions and feelings of accomplishment to get a taste of what achieving that goal might actually feel like. Again, this mental rehearsal process will help keep you motivated during challenging times, help you remain focused on your objectives, help you avoid distractions, and most importantly, help you avoid making impulsive financial decisions that could derail your financial independence journey. All right, so once you have a clear idea of which objectives you want to pursue, the next step in using visualization to fast track your financial goals is to mentally rehearse your desired life outcomes. And so how do you do this? Well, you can start by visualizing the satisfaction and the joy you'll experience once you actually achieve your goals. As in Craig's case, this could include tapping into those feelings of cruising up the driveway of your house in Hawaii, experiencing the awe and the wonder of visiting a new country, or seeing the joy in a child's face when they realize that you've helped them pay for college. Now, naturally on the surface, constantly thinking about your desired financial goals might seem a little like daydreaming. But the truth is that mental rehearsal is much more than daydreaming because it's a way to prime your brain for the outcome that you want it to achieve. In fact, mental rehearsal is an approach used by soccer great Pele, Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps, Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, and many other well-known athletes to prime their minds for the outcomes they desire before actually doing the work. Now, when it comes to applying this concept to your finances, you'll likely want to make the outcome more than just achieving your life goals, but also about the actions you need to take to achieve those outcomes. For example, take the time to visualize what your typical week or your month looks like when it comes to handling your finances. Here again, this might include imagining your ideal financial situation and visualizing specific milestones such as paying off debts, saving a targeted amount of money, or acquiring assets that can produce income later on in life. And by creating a clear mental image of what you need to do to hit your life goals, you can develop a long-term roadmap along with the short-term actionable steps that you can use to touch, taste, and feel those experiences that can help you reach your goals more efficiently. To be sure, can you vividly imagine how it would feel to check your bank statements only to see how your spending and your savings are aligned with your overall life goals? And how do you want to feel knowing that your savings balances are growing consistently or that they're solid enough to cover your lifestyle goals until you pass, thanks to the choices that you're currently making? making. Now, that's the power of mental rehearsal and visualization. Again, it's essential to note here that we're not talking about wishful thinking. To be sure, the field of neuroscience has a lot to say about how neurons that fire together wire together, and that's a discussion for another time. But when it comes down to it, what you should know is that mental rehearsal helps improve connections in your brain that link effort to outcome. Remember, the mind is, for the most part, a lazy member of our physiological system. It prefers habits and novelty and tends to focus on things you're good at or generally enjoy doing. So then, from this perspective, mental rehearsal allows you to prime your brain and your body for future habits and desired outcomes by pairing mental images and scenarios of success with a physiological outcome that links potential achievement with positive emotions. Indeed, through visualization, you can mentally rehearse the daily choices you'll need to make with your money with utmost clarity. And by creating detailed mental images, you are effectively training your brain to simulate the actual physical experience associated with that work. Now, the last point that we'll cover when it comes to mental rehearsal is how it's a great way to overcome limiting money beliefs and how it can help you build confidence in your financial abilities. Now, if you're having trouble being consistent with doing the work to achieve your financial goals, like sticking to your budget, it may have something to do with your belief and your ability to achieve these goals. And that's where mental rehearsal can help out. How so? Well, that's because visualization allows you to rehearse those behaviors necessary to achieve your life goals while helping you identify blind spots and potential derailers to create potential solutions. And so how do you go about doing the work? Well, to start, identify any negative beliefs or doubts you may have about your financial potential and replace them with empowering imagery. This could include imagining yourself finally overcoming those bad habits or derailers that have been holding you back and what it would feel like to finally attain your measure of financial success. To be sure, this visualization practice will not only help you challenge your limiting beliefs, but it will also help you develop a confident mindset, enabling you to take bold actions such as investing, starting a business, or negotiating for better financial outcomes in your life. Now, if you're still not sure where to begin with all this mental rehearsal work, consider this. What would your dream life look like, and how would achieving your financial goals bring this vision to life? Can you feel the excitement bubbling up within you as you step into your dream home? Or experience the pride coursing through your veins as you fund your child's college education without any debt? If you can, that's the power of mental rehearsal kicking in. Now, drawing on Craig's earlier story, my challenge to you is to reflect on the impact of the potential of visualization in your life. Picture the confidence you would feel asking for a deserved promotion, or the thrill of discovering a new investment opportunity that aligns perfectly with your financial goals. At the same time, imagine the satisfaction of seeing your savings grow steadily, or the relief in realizing that you're finally financially prepared for your post-employment years no matter what comes at you. To be sure, your dreams aren't as far-fetched or unachievable as you might think. In fact, it's quite the contrary. Your financial dreams are within your grasp, and it starts with mentally rehearsing how your life will look once you actually achieve that outcome. Indeed, just like in sports, the battlefield is in your mind and the victory starts there. And by frequently visualizing your desired financial state, you'll find an increase in your focus, your motivation, and belief in your ability to reach your goals. But most importantly, you'll be taking one step closer to becoming the master of your own financial independence journey. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the FI Mastery podcast. To learn more about our research, visit us at fimastery.com or email your questions to questions@franklinmadisonadvisors.com. Until next time, I'm Peter Donisanu, wishing you and yours abundant health and prosperity.
FI Mastery Podcast is brought to you by Franklin Madison Advisors, Inc. Franklin Madison Advisors is a registered investment advisor firm with its registration and principal place of business in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Registration of an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skills or training. This commentary and forecast are limited to the dissemination of general information pertaining to Franklin Madison Advisors' investment advisory services and general economic and market conditions and are subject to change without notice. The information shared today is not intended to be personal, legal, investment, or tax advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any security or engage in a particular investment strategy. For additional information about Franklin Madison Advisors, including fees and services, please contact Franklin Madison Advisors or refer to the Investment Advisor public disclosures.